Yep. My thoughts exactly. We fucking suck. I'm sorry to say that, Titans fans. You know how much I love this team. You know how much I love Tennessee. I am appalled. Anybody who's a Tennessee Titan fan should be appalled right now. If you ain't upset, then something is seriously fucking wrong with you. I mean, I just watched a game on a watch along with Stephen Rose, and who's a Houston Texan fan. I just saw a team just give up, and they weren't losing that much in the first half. As a matter of fact, they missed 2 field goals. It could have been 6-6 at halftime. This team gave up. I'm looking at players on there who just don't want to be there anymore. And if you don't want to be there anymore, then get the fuck out. Lavarius Sneed, I'm going to go with you first. You fucking jabroni-looking booty scratcher. I'm going to talk to you first. You who won those rings in Kansas City, then you come here. We give you, 4 years at $80-90 million your first season. You only play 5 or 6 games, and then you're hurt, and then you pretty much came into this game saying, "Hey, Nico Collins who?" Well, that Nico Collins made you a bitch-ass boy because he caught a bunch of passes on you. It's ridiculous. So that right there, you get the, if I can get it up here, Mr. Lavarius Sneed, you get the
Hey, Gilmore, you suck, you jackass. Why don't you shut the hell up?
So yeah, you
right
get
now,
you get the "you suck, you jackass." That's exactly what you get. And then we have, let's see, who else can we go with here? Brian Callahan. I see little league, little Pee Wee football players play a lot better than that. I've seen Pee Wee football coaches coach better than that. You were supposed to be this offensive-minded guru, the guy who was 5 years as an offensive coordinator for Cincinnati, who, never called the plays in Cincinnati in the first place. That was Zach Taylor. You were supposed to be this guy who worked for Denver Broncos and who was an assistant and you learned under Peyton Manning, and then you learned under Matthew Stafford and all this other stuff. You're 3-18 as a head coach. I mean, your dad sucked too, but that's beside the point. You act like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't even know the rules of the game. And you sit there, and apparently the play call was not supposed to be you today, but it looked just like you because there it was. Titans was at a 3-12, and they decided, hey, I'm going to run the football again. I mean, an old man with dementia can coach better than you. And I don't mean to be mean, but I don't mean to say that about people with dementia. I apologize. But it's just the fact that it's frustrating because this is an organization who hasn't gotten their shit together in the last couple years. Now, firing John Robinson was right because, he traded A.J. Brown to Philadelphia and we got Traylon Burks out of the deal. Understandably, he needed to be go. And then you bring in Rand Carthon. And then Amy Adams got butthurt over what Mike Vrabel said when he was in New England on an off week. So you let your emotions get the best of you. And then you fire one of the best coaches we've had in a long-ass time. You let Vrabel go. Now he's in New England and he's doing a good job in New England. And you bring in Brian Callahan, who's never head coached ever. I don't understand why these teams want to bring in coordinators who's never been an NFL head coach. But what you do is you bring in Callahan. They struggle last season. You get the first pick in the draft, and then you decide to get rid of Rand Carthon and bring in Mike Bergazzi from Kansas City as a GM. So you would think in that situation that you would, I don't know, you would think possibly. What's up, Steven? And the fact of the matter is that you had, oh God, it's just, okay. You should have gotten rid of Callahan during the offseason, reset the whole thing. You brought in Mike Berganzi as a new GM. You could have had a new head coach under Cam Ward. Now Cam Ward is being sacked like 14, 15 times. Every time the kid throws the ball, you got Butterfingers Magoo over there, fucking Calvin fucking Ridley, who's getting $80 million to catch a football, who can't catch a fucking snowboard, who can't even probably catch a COVID. Probably couldn't catch COVID if he could. But now, then you got the other kid who's a rookie, so I'll give him a little credit on that. But when Cam Ward throws you the ball, you put your hands up there, you grab the football, you're professionals. You get paid millions of dollars to catch a fucking football. That's what you do. So you tip it, and then it gets intercepted. And then Titan fans are going to be like, yeah, it's on Cam Ward's fault. Fuck you. No, it's not. Cam Ward is supposed to struggle. He's a kid. He's the first pick in the draft. Peyton Manning struggled his first season under Indianapolis. It's normal. And then you bring in the offensive line. You got Lloyd Cushenberry as a center. Gronkowski has done a great job as left guard. He has really stepped up his game. Nothing bad to say about him. And J.C. Latham is back as a right tackle, but he's injured. And then you bring in Dan Moore. Pittsburgh, fuck you for this. But you bring in him, and you give him $80 million as well. To do what? To let the defenders go right past him and sack Cam Ward? That's exactly what you fucking did. It's ridiculous. The fact that I watched that game, no disrespect to Stephen Rose here, but I want to take like 2 hours back of my life again. That was just horribly ridiculous. And then I stuck up for our kicker because I thought, he missed 2 field goals last week, 60-something yards. Let's give him a break. Nah, I fucking missed 2 really close by. So if I'm Amy Adams Shrunk, who is probably one of the dumbest fucking owners, and Bud Adams is probably rolling in his grave right now. Obviously, she does not know what the fuck she's doing. She handles stuff with emotion. And that's the worst thing you can do when you own a business or you own anything. You cannot use your emotions to get the best of you. So now you have Amy Adams over there. If she has not fired Brian Callahan now, something is fucking wrong with this. Get an interim head coach. Just be done with Brian Callahan. Finish this season. Even if you go 0-17 or 0-18, who gives a fuck? And what you need to do is take guys like, it's not fair for a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who's a great player, a great defensive player. It's not fair for him to be on this team. So what you need to do is get draft capital, start trading some of these guys, take some of that money cap off of you, and start getting a lot of draft capital and start building for the future. Build around Cam Ward. That's exactly what you need to do. So that's, oh man, I just look at this team and I'm just looking at this. They lost 2 back-to-back AFC South games. They could have beaten Denver. They could have beaten the Rams. And it's not really the defense. The defense is trying. And I give the defense, I give Denard Wilson credit. He's trying. But when the offense has only got like 170 yards of total offense this game, and that's credit to the Houston defense too, but you've got 175 yards of total offense. The defense is going to be tired. And it's about that, man, it's like they just, it's ridiculous. Everybody should be, who's a Titan fan, said it best. You know, Two-Tone Blue said it best. Why in the world should you spend the money to go see this game, to go see them when they play like this? And yes, they're my team. I believe Two-Tone Blue. I love these guys, and I will love them to the day I fucking die. That's beside the point. But if you love your team, you also have to criticize them when they do something stupid. And today was something stupid. Houston, Texas has got one of the worst offensive lines in the game. And you mean to tell me that you guys couldn't get more than a couple sacks on them? Something's wrong. Something is severely wrong here. The players have no motivation. When they were under Mike Vrabel, we had an identity, a stingy defense. We ran the ball down your throat. We were old school mentality. And we had an attitude around us. And that's what we were. We weren't the flashiest team in the NFL, but that was okay. Now we're nothing. We have no identity. I don't even know who the fuck this team is. It's basically a dude playing a dude trying to disguise as another dude. That's exactly what this team is. And Cam Ward's got a really good confidence, and I still love what he does. But even Cam Ward has got to be frustrated. And I mean, how do you not? We should have had more than, honestly. Yeah. We should have had more than 0 points. I don't see how we don't have more than that. Now, this is what I want Amy Adams to say to Brian Callahan when he comes back to Nashville. If I don't hear that word, you're fired. And something's severely fucking wrong. I mean, come on, man. This is just ridiculous. You play to win the game. Like Herman Edwards said, you play to win the game. You don't play just to hang around. You don't have no trust in your quarterback. And, some people want to blame Will Levis. I don't even think it was Will Levis's fault last year. Now, granted, the offensive line's a little bit better than what it was last year. But Tony Pollard can't do everything. Cam Ward can't do everything. I'm disgusted. I'm not even angry. I'm disgusted. And that's worse than being angry. I'm disgusted with this team. While I'm still rooting for them, while I'm still rooting for Cam Ward, and I think that he will be fine with this team going forward, I have no faith in Amy Adams. I have no faith in this organization. I have no faith in Brian Callahan. I have no faith in Lavarius Sneed. I have no faith in Calvin Ridley. I have no faith in Arden Key. I have no faith in a lot of these players. And a lot of these players, I don't even have faith in Dan Moore. And we're sitting here and I'm naming all players who are getting paid bukus of money, 3-4 year deals, and you play like that. Now we got a new stadium being built. That's supposed to be built in 2027. That costs the Tennessee $2.5 billion. And we barely have anybody come into the game in Nissan Stadium. When you go to Nissan Stadium as a Titan fan, you know what you see mostly? If we're facing someone like the Cardinals or the Rams, you see more Ram and Cardinals fans than you do Titans fans. And why you think that is? Because we, as an organization right now, should be the laughing stock of this fucking NFL right now. And it used to be Detroit. It used to be Cleveland. No. It is the Tennessee Titans. They're basically like the Tennessee Titties right now. They're bouncing up and down. We don't know which titty. Like, you know, are you going to perk up and let's see some perky nips, or are we going to not play and you're just going to be like you're going to look like a pepperoni pizza? It's ridiculous about this team. They're nothing but a bunch of bitch ass boys. Bitch ass boys wearing two different colors. It's I don't even know. I wouldn't even know what to say or even what to think about this situation. I hate using this title that they suck. I really don't want to say that, but there's really not much else I can say. It's Titans fans, you understand the pain. I see Titan vid makers like Two Tone Blue. I see Titan Anderson. I see the Locked On Titans podcast. I see A to Z Sports. I see all of them, and you can see the frustration in their face. I'm part of a bunch of Titans groups on Facebook. You see the frustration. You see it. Last week in Indianapolis, they had a Hall of Fame. They put Mike Keith, the voice of the Titans, for so long, who's now the voice of the Vols. They had a Hall of Fame ceremony for him. And it got interrupted with fans booing the Tennessee Titans and booing Brian Callahan. Brian Callahan's sitting there like, he's sitting there with his smug looking look, with his dirty vagina looking face. And he's just sitting there like, I don't know what you want me to do. We played tough. We played this. Did you? You have no reason to be a head coach in the NFL. I don't even think anybody would want to hire you as a head coach after this. And if they do, they're probably Amy Adams shrunk. Because there is just some things that, you know, what's interesting though is that she sits there. She has a little place here in Tennessee, but she also has some place in Houston. And I'm like, if you can't run this team, then have somebody else who can run this fucking team. Because obviously you don't know what the fuck you're doing either. And then you're like, well, I understand Titans fans. I feel the disgrace. No, you don't. You're sitting there all high and mighty in your little press box, probably sipping wine and probably have a vagina that looks like a fucking egg roll. And probably smells like fucking tuna burnt. But you know, that's just who it is. You're not a good owner at all. You're making bad decisions for this team, and you're putting us back and back and back. We had a pretty good roster last season. We should have been better last season, to be honest with you. But we weren't. I don't think we're going to go 0-17, but I will not be shocked if we do. I really don't. I think this team is just, it's really ridiculous right now. No one has. You know what I did after the game was over? Logged off, came in here, got a hug from my beautiful wife because sometimes you just need one. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. I would go further, but I don't want my blood pressure to rise, so I'm not going to go further with that. But I will say this, though. They should. Two-Tone and all of them going on rants. They should. It's ridiculous. Who in the... They said the play call was supposed to be for the quarterback coach. But they still doing the damn same stupid trickery plays that Brian Callahan likes to play. And they still like to run the ball on a 3rd and 18 or a 3rd and 12. I'm like, who the fuck does some of that? Nobody does. Now, I can understand the end of the game because you're right there in the end zone. You don't want to get a safety. I get that. But Callahan, you got no marbles. You got no balls whatsoever. You made this team look like a bunch of pussies. Like a bunch of fucking cockroaches. Like a bunch of fucking pussies. You ain't got no fucking yayo, man. That's exactly what your problem is, man. There's the fucking sweet potatoes there, man. That's exactly what they're doing. And there's no... I'm not even wearing my Titans hat right now. It's like it's embarrassing to even put that on. I don't even have the Titans jersey. I don't even put that on either. Get rid of it. It's just... And I know some people are going to be like, well, you're not being a true Titans fan. Look, I'm a true Titans fan. I roll with them when they played bad. I roll with them when they played good. I'm still going to roll with them. They're my team. At the end of the day, they're still my team. But as Titans fans, we deserve better. Every one of us deserves fucking better than this. In all honesty, we should be 2-2 right now as a record. We should have beaten Denver. We should have beaten the Rams. But it's boneheaded plays and boneheaded mistakes. And we can blame the referees all we want. I'm not going to blame the referees anymore because they're fucking zebra penises. They're zebra penises with little hats on. We already know that. They throw flags at everything. And Steven Rose is right. They should throw a flag at the referee. There should be a flag on the referee. Or at least you could have been 1-3 right now. 1-3. 1-2. You could have been 1-2 right now. But no, the AFC South games are the teams that you need to win. You got to beat Indianapolis. You got to beat Houston. I don't even think they can beat Jacksonville. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts sweep them. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas sweep them. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Jacksonville fucking Jaguars sweep them too. There should be no reason for it at all. Well, that November 6th game, I won't be surprised if you damn beat us again because it's just ridiculous on how they're playing. And it's just, I know Cam Ward's parents are frustrated. I know Cam Ward's got to be frustrated. I feel you. You know what? To Cam Ward, I apologize. I am sorry that we drafted you to this place, into this damn turmoil, into this damn shit. Because if Brian Callahan fucks up that kid's confidence and fucks up that kid's playing ability, and you know what's going to be funny is if they trade Jeffrey Simmons or they trade Lavarius Sneed or trade Calvin Ridley, you watch them go to a different team and play fucking better. Then you know it's an organizational problem. It's not a player problem. Yes, players have slumps. I get that. Calvin Ridley has a slump. He's having a slump right now. I get it. He had 1,000 yards receiving last year. I know what some Titans fans are going to say, but you know what? You cannot convince me that motherfucker's got butterfingers for hands. You know what he needs to do? He needs to go to the big, powerful Oz. You know how the Scarecrow asks for a heart and the other one asks for a brain? Asks for a brain. Tin Man asks for a heart, and the Cowardly Lion asks for courage. Calvin Ridley needs to ask for fucking hands. You need to ask for hands. You know what I wish? I wish for hands. And it's, I mean, I don't know what Callahan's going to say at the press conference. He's probably going to come up with, "Well, we didn't execute. We didn't do this. We didn't do that." You know shit, Sherlock. You didn't execute. It's like he was like this little kid that's like, "Hey, I play Madden. I could be a head coach. You just put this little play right here." Just because your dad was a head coach does not mean you were good enough to be a head coach, and he wasn't even that good to be a head coach either. The Callahans suck. You guys suck. Every last one of you suck. And you bring one of the best special teams coaches in the league. You're getting a little better on special teams. I give you credit on that. But you can't even hit a field goal from like 30 yards. It should have been 6-6 going into halftime, but it wasn't. And running the ball on 3rd and 12, yeah, I fuck that shit. Really, fuck that. If I was quarterback, if I was Cam Ward and that play came in, I would have been like, you know what? Fuck this. But he's a rookie, so he's not going to do that. But I guarantee you, if that was Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and that play would have came in, they would have changed it, and they would have fucking all of it, and it wouldn't have been a run. It would have been a pass, and it probably would have been a first down or more. Cam Ward needs to get used to taking control of that play calling, because if he sees a play call that does not work, don't be upset. Go with it. Change it. And you wonder why I don't do any Titans videos anymore, and this is the exact fucking reason. It's ridiculous, and it's horrible, and there's no excuse for us to be 0-4. Yes, I know it happens in the NFL. Teams go through these things. I get it. I'm not saying that but I feel like, in a lot of the sense of the word, I'm looking at Titan players who don't even want to try anymore. There's certain players who do play hard, who try to work hard. Cam Ward is one of them. Pollard is working hard. Pollard's trying. Amani Hooker's trying. Xavier Rhodes is trying. Jeffrey Simmons is trying. And I agree. Bring in John Gruden. We need to bring in Chucky. John Gruden is a reliable coach. He's a guy that knows how to work with younger quarterbacks. He would definitely work with Cam Ward. He has a culture, and he would not take this bullshit and this nonsense that some of the players are doing. So I am with you, Henry. I really, truly freaking believe that John Gruden should be the head coach of this football team next season. The rumor is that he's looking into going to the SEC or maybe college football, but honestly, he's got ties to Tennessee. You know, his wife went to the University of Tennessee. I think it's a perfect fit for him, honestly. Gruden is one of the top guys that I would go for. I would not even worry about trying to go for these coordinators who have never been a head coach. Fuck that. You need someone who comes in there that has that credibility, who has a chance, who has a winning formula, who can be a good coach, who can be a coach that can be on your ass if you do something wrong, and hold you accountable for when you don't. That is what Tennessee needs right now. They need that guy. They need that type of coach to come in here and play and coach this team. And Amy Adams, I appreciate you, Steven. Thanks for having me on, man. I need to do it more often. I can go with some football follies and start talking some shit about Titans even more if I wanted to, but yeah. I don't like talking bad. I don't like talking bad about my team. I really don't. But I can't deny that they're 0-4. I can't deny that they absolutely suck. I can't deny that Brian Callahan is the shittiest fucking head coach I've ever seen in my goddamn life. I can't go against the fact that Amy Adams is the worst fucking owner I've ever seen in my life. I can't deny that. No Titan fan can deny that. It's ridiculous. I tell you what, if I had the money and I had the lottery and I had like a bunch of $1 billion, I would buy the Titans from her. I shit you fucking not, I would. At least I'd bring in the right fucking pieces. At least I would actually give. Brian Callen, I thought, you know what's funny about that, Steven? I thought Ken Wisenhunt was probably one of the worst coaches we have, but no. Brian Callahan is worse than Ken Wisenhunt. He is probably the worst head coach that I have ever seen in my life. Yeah, he's the worst I've ever seen in our history in the Titans. Yep. I'll say it. At least Mike Mularkey got us to a playoffs. Bud Adams definitely would not put up with that crap. Absolutely not. He would definitely not put up with that crap. Agree with you 100% there, Henry. Definitely would not put up with that crap. And the fact of the matter is, if Amy Adams, if she can't run this team, then she needs to bring in somebody who can. Or she needs to just sit her butt, sign the paychecks, and let the GM and let the people that's underneath her run this team. You just sit there, smile, and sign the paychecks. But everybody wants to try to be a Jerry Jones, and you're not a Jerry Jones, and you will never be a Jerry Jones. You will never be a Robert Kraft. You will never be those kind of owners who have control over their teams. She will never be that kind of owner. Bud Adams was that kind of owner. Al Davis of the Raiders was that kind of owner. But she's not that kind of owner, and she will never be that kind of owner. And she is one of the main reasons why we are struggling the way we have, because she let her emotions get the best of her, because Mike Vrabel got put into the New England Patriot Hall of Fame, and then he said this is the greatest organization to play for and to be around. And she let that get the best of her, and that's one of the fucking reasons why she got rid of him. And you got rid of Mike Vrabel, who won Coach of the Year 2 years prior. And then you bring in an unproven commodity in Brian Callahan, who lied to you, and to lie Marvin said that the 2014 Titans was the worst. Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna disagree with Marvin. I'm gonna tell you why, Steven. Because at least that team played with heart. At least they actually lost games that were close. At least they gave a shit. At least they came on there and tried. This team doesn't look like they want to be there. They don't look like they want to play for Brian Callahan. And who the fuck would want to? We're going to have a top pick next year. We definitely will be. And I know some people don't like this. They may go for an offensive lineman, or they may go for a receiver. I think you go for a weapon for Cam Ward. You got to. We should. That'd be kind of fun to do that. But I mean, all I'll say is this: you got Jeffrey Simmons, who's 27 years old, probably one of the best defensive end or defensive tackles in the league. He doesn't deserve how we're being right now, and I honestly believe that we should trade him, get a high draft quality for him, get a ton of picks for next season, and use that to build this team, because the draft picks they got this off season. Gunnar Helm is going to be a really good tight end. Eric's doing a really good job as a receiver. He had a drop today. He had 2 drops today, one that went into an interception. But to be honest with you, we got some good young draft picks from this season. I just don't see this team going anywhere. I really don't. Two-Tone is right. He should be fired tonight or by tomorrow. If he's not fired by tonight or tomorrow, then I'm not even going to give a fuck to watch the game against the Cardinals. They will not get my money for that. I'm done. I mean, what's Callahan going to do? Callahan must be the best liar in the world. In order to keep his job, he must really be lying, or he must be really sucking a lot of dick. He looks like a dick sucker. He really does. He looks like a dick sucker. Oh, man. This is what I think of the Titans so far this season. This shows. Getting it up here. Hold on, man. They're pretty much diarrhea coming out the butthole. That's pretty much what they are right now. That's just what they is. They're this fucking diet. They are the stomach. They're the stomach flu. They're the narrow virus. The Titans are the narrow virus right now. They're the ones that will come out your mouth and your asshole. I'm definitely not working Sunday, so if you're gonna, before I leave, I'm gonna get off here because I have to get going soon because we're going to the in-laws. But to answer your question, Henry, to be a new coach for a new stadium, you want to bring in somebody that's going to have a new culture for this team. And under Mike Vrabel, we had that toughness, that grit, that smash you in the mouth kind of deal. The identity we got with Brian Callahan is that we're a bunch of fucking pussies. You know, that's the thing. They decided to go with a new offensive-minded coach because everybody kept saying, we need an offensive-minded coach that can go down the field. No, you don't. I mean, look at the Lions coach. He's not an offensive-minded guy, but he's a defensive-minded guy. And look at the Commanders with Dan Quinn. Not an offensive-minded coach, but look how they're playing. He's a defensive-minded coach. Everybody thinks because you got to be like an Andy Reid or you have to be like the Eagles head coach, you have to be this guy in order to succeed, but you don't. The Titans do better when they have a defensive-minded coach, and that's what they need. They need a guy who's going to come in there. I wouldn't even care if it's Belichick, as a matter of fact. I wouldn't care if it's Mike McCarthy. At least Those guys have Super Bowl winning qualities behind them. John Gruden's got that. If we beat the Cardinals, I will be shocked. I will be shocked. But I just don't see this happening, man. I really don't. I don't even. I think that they can run the table and go 0-17. I really do. And that would be the worst record ever. I think that might be the worst record ever in the NFL. I'm not sure. I have to look that up, but I'll tell you what, though. Before I leave, the Tennessee Titans will get. They'll get this song. It's kind of sad that I think that the Three Stooges can actually beat the Tennessee Titans. I really do. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And yes, this is some kind of drink inside here, too. The drinking has begun. I am. I'm going to start playing at Titan games. I'm going to start. I got this video I'm going to do on TikTok. I'm going to rip a new asshole on there. I'm actually going to make a hate video on the Titans. Being a Titan fan hurts. My uncle, my dad would be rolling in his grave. My grandmother would be rolling in over her grave. My uncle, who passed away right after my dad, who said he was not going to shave his head unless the Titans won the Super Bowl and shave his beard. Well, luckily he died and didn't have to worry about that because it's vodka with cranberry. It's cranberry with vodka. That's what I'm drinking. Oh yeah, we'll do it. We'll get on there and I will start roasting and being fun and I'd be like, hey y'all, man, where's the sweet potatoes at, man? Where are the sweet fucking potatoes at? I'll tell you what, before I leave, one thing I will say is Brian Callahan does not need to get on that team plane. They need to make that motherfucker walk home from Houston. Let him walk. I don't know how far of a walk that would be. I don't know how far of a walk that would be from here to Houston, but do not let that motherfucker get on the plane. Don't. Just don't. But I am Big Kev's World, aka Kev's Point of View, aka whatever you want to call me. It's cool. Kev, whatever. But see y'all again very soon.